it's midday, and welcome to Micro Strategies to Fetch More Clients, Animal Therapist Edition. This is micro strategy number 9, how to get social off social media. So, something that was actually shared around our table was how hard it is right now to be getting the leads to your business using social media. Now, it can be done. However, if you want to be the go-to expert in your area, then actually getting social in and around dog parks, cafes, things like that, is a great way to help you stand out. Now, there's a lot of other massive benefits from trying to be social. And the stats show it. We are social beings. We're not built to only ever be behind a screen all the time. So actually that human to human interaction is needed in both our lives and the pet owners' lives. And here are a couple of stats. 75% of pet parents consider their dog a family member. And meeting people through their pets builds instant emotional rapport. And that's the kind of people we want in our business, right? 85% of people find in-person interactions much more trustworthy and memorable than online messages. And this was a study by Forbes in 2023. So, do you want to be the go-to expert in your area? Do you want to be trusted and memorable and someone that when they think, oh, my dog needs some care, are you the first person that comes to mind? Dog parks and public spaces are like unstructured, non-clinical interactions, which is really great for like just being authentically yourself, showcasing what it is that you can do for the animals of your community. And it's also been proven to just be a fantastic way to get referrals. So even if the person in front of you, the dog in front of you, doesn't need your care, they may know their neighbour's dog is limping and needs a vet physio. They may know that their auntie's dog is your perfect dog that you want to work with. So actually the referrals that come out of this is one of those strategies that, yes, you actually may get a lot of instant gratification, but there may be a ripple effect that happens that brings people to your business long term as well, which isn't hard to put a stat to, which I know makes it feel like it's too hard for business, but sometimes doing the hard thing for the long-term gain is massively worthwhile. It's the difference between your business succeeding and not. Where do you get social when you want to advertise your vet physio business? Dog parks, pet-friendly cafes. Honestly, my coffee shop in the town here in Whitchurch, Kudos Coffee, shout out, tag them in the post. It's like, was it Hello, the TV show? Or like How I Met Your Mother. You know, like we go in there and we know who's going to be there. And actually, the local dog walker is always in there with the dogs. So those dogs get a lot of socializing. And having conversations with people about their pets in those kind of environments is just a fantastic way to introduce yourself. Outdoor community events. Is there any local events happening in and around your town right now that you should be at? And if there is, then get yourself there. And you could just make this super casual. Drop in to local vet clinics or groomers. Just drop in and say hi. Introduce yourself, and don't worry, during this training, I'll give you what you would say when you're introducing yourself. So there's a few ways to start a natural conversation. And I'm going to go with like the wackiest first and ones that I've actually seen work. So using a prompt or a tool or something. So Dr. Mario Stefano is an incredible chiropractor down in Semaphore, South Australia. He's also the president of the Chiropractic Association out there. And he genuinely goes to the petrol station with a full-on human spine in his hand. And then people see this man walking around with this massive spine and they go, what's that about? And then that's his prompt, his launch to talk to them about how he heals spines as a chiropractor. Um, Now, I was also at an event back in May, Expert Empires, and there was a lady carrying around a basket. And inside the basket, and I actually just, it was just a wicker basket. And I saw her throughout the 2 days with this basket, and I was like, what has she got in there? I'm really intrigued. And then I was actually chatting to my book publishers, and we were mid-conversation. She walked past. I said, sorry, one sec. We were like getting professional photos and everything. I was like, one sec. And I was like, sorry, what is with the basket? Like, what's in there? And what was in there were these little pigs, fortune pigs. And on the back of them are QR codes to um, her documents that can support you analysing your finances for your business. Her name's Yaka Kay, and I've still got this because it's such a cute little piggy. But like, her prompt of carrying around this basket intrigued me, and I was like, I'm going to start a conversation with her. So actually, if you don't want to start the conversation and you're bold enough to, you know, um, bring a prompt that will spark a conversation about your business, then absolutely use those. Other ways to do it, if you want to approach them, is we're going to talk about the dogs. And you being able to talk about dogs, them being able to talk about their dog is a fantastic and easy way to lower that anxiety of that first conversation. Um, So it might be that you see a little schnauzer come in, and please only use these if you actually are. So don't ever lie. I want you to be very genuine and authentic in your conversation. So use these as prompts and make them your own. And like for me, I'd say, oh, I work with a lot of miniature schnauzers. I love seeing calm dogs like him if he's led there being calm. If he's bouncing around a field because you're in a dog field, then say, oh, I love seeing happy dogs like yours. Mind if I say hi? Like, again, everyone wants to talk about their dog. Um, and if they're friendly, then of course they're not going to mind you saying hi to them. Another one I love using is, oh, what a sweetheart. Please can I say hello? And then as you're stroking them, saying, I actually work with a few schnauzers, and I must say yours is a stunner. Even if it's the ugliest thing you've ever seen. People love to know that their dog is special, same as they love to know their children are special. Obviously, I've got a toddler at the moment. If someone turned around and said, "Oh my God, like I work with a lot of toddlers, he's so intelligent," like I'm definitely gonna like you more. Um, and it's just a natural conversation. We're just starting a conversation with them about their dogs. We're lowering some barriers, and we're not putting ourselves under too much pressure, from here. And I want you to be prepared for when they finally turn around. So if, let's use that. Oh, I actually work with a lot of miniature schnauzers, and I must say yours is a stunner. Quite often in conversation, they're going to ask you if they're interested. So actually, this is a great qualifier. If they don't feel like they're going to carry on having a conversation with you, leave it be. Stroke to dog, awesome, great interaction. But if they ask you, what is it you do? You want to be prepared with a fantastic answer that rolls off the tongue, that doesn't have industry jargon in it, so that the average Joe can understand what it is that you do. And if you want to be clever about it, you can even tailor it to the dog that's right in front of you as well. So here it is. Your sniff and tell pitch, as I call it. You know how dogs always sniff and sniff each other's butts. This is our way of sniffing and telling each other who we are and what we do. So you're going to use this template. As a profession, I specialise in service for ideal client, resulting in outcome. Now, in my book, Fetch More Clients, you've got a template to fill in your own. But here's an example. So let's pretend there's an elderly Labrador stood in front of me as I'm saying this, and I'm a veterinary physiotherapist. Oh, so what is it you do? Well, as a veterinary physiotherapist, I specialize in hands-on care for Labradors, resulting in improved mobility, reduced discomfort, and enhanced overall quality of life. And then this is where they're going to go, wow, fascinating. or they're going to lean in, they're going to want to know more, they're going to give you more information if they're interested. If at this point they lean out, then again, end the conversation, we got a cuddle with a dog, win. But actually, you learning this line that is going to give you so much more confidence for any type of networking that you do, any type of interaction. And knowing this line as you do any other marketing tool that I provide will also really benefit you. So get this one down, get this one memorized, and it will help people move to the right people move towards you. Now, so they've moved towards you, how do you then turn this into a clinical conversation that then may convert them into a client working with you? Well, you're going to do this through open-ended questions. So, open-ended questions, the opposite of closed questions. So, a closed question is like a yes/no answer. Do they see a vet? No. Do they, those closed questions are a great way to shut down a conversation. So open-ended questions are a great way to get more information out to basically anyone. So this is a life lesson as well as a business lesson for you now. If you can lean on these 5 words throughout your conversation with a dog client, you are going to do very well. So, how does he cope with after a lot of physical activity like he's doing right now? The dog's currently running circles around the dog field. When was the last time he got checked? For it could be lameness, hip checks, whatever it is that you do. What challenges are you seeing as he's getting older? So these are open-ended questions where we can identify their needs. What are their problems with their dog at the moment, if any? How has that changed over the course of his life? Now, adding these type of open-ended questions just keeps building out, drawing out problems and questions. And for everything that they give you, you're going to retool it to ask a further question about that. So, they could say, actually, yeah, he does get quite sore back legs. Oh, when he's at his worst with his back legs, how does that affect him? Oh, well, he can't get up off the sofa. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, really? And how long does that last for? So it's like whatever they give you, you're going to lean back on your 4Ws, 1H tools here. Now, for anyone that wants a prompt card that you can have on your phone before going into these so you can practice some of these questions, I do have a download version for anyone that wants to grab a copy of the book at the end. Let's grab the QR code. Because I'm personally sending it out to you and you'll give me your mobile number, I'll send you a digital version of those prompts for every person that signs up and grabs a book after this training as well. Also, or just comment below reference card, then I will send that over to you as well. Well, what do you gain from being social in real life? This is all cool and yes, business strategy, but there's a lot more to this than it just being a toolkit. There's a lot of benefits for you both professionally and personally. So the professional benefits is referrals from casual connections. This is a really low cost, low pressure way of getting referrals for your business. It's also a great way to build personal trust that translates into client inquiries. They might meet you down the park, and then as long as you've given them a way to move towards you, which is my top tip, is always have a QR code or something like that so that they can move towards you here in that moment as they're fresh and using it. So I use Hi Hello, and this QR code sits as a back screen on my phone. So if I have any social interactions and they want to know how they can move towards me, I give them my phone, they scan it. They're always impressed. It feels quite techy. And takes them to my website, takes them to, like how to buy a book or things like that. In my case, in your case, it needs to take them to a booking page where they can book that initial appointment with you. Make it as easy as possible for them to move towards you. That's my hot and top tip from this. It also helps ease the worry about networking with local vets, trainers, pet parents, because you're going to be there. You're going to see them. It's a really low pressure way of doing that. It's also going to increase your visibility. So again, because this is easy to do, it's also easy not to do. And by actually physically being seen, it breeds that trust with you, and it becomes that you are the go-to animal therapist in your area. Now, one business owner, I'm sure she won't mind me sharing, Kat said it was very clever in something that she's done with this. And she has sponsored all of her local kids' teams. So, son plays football, daughter does cheer. She has as a business has sponsored those events because she's going to be there anyway. She's going to be there for Saturday football. So she may as well be there and then have her signage there. And then if anyone wants to move towards her during that time, then she absolutely can. It's good for the local community, it's good for your kids' sports, but it's also a way to increase that visibility for you and your business and your service in the area. She's an absolute rock star. Personal benefits. A lot of you work alone, and mental health and wellness is something that is actually one of the reasons why I do Canine Care Hub. I know how lonely and isolating it can feel when you're working on your own and not part of a team. So actually, by getting out and knowing that you're doing the marketing for yourself, you're building those connections, you're getting cuddles with dogs, is going to give you so many lifts in your own personal world as well. So it reduces that isolation. Plus, it gives you real-time feedback and validation. If people are moving towards what it is that you're doing, then you're going to feel great about yourself. If you say your one line sniff and tail pitch and people still look at you like, then it might be time to take it back to the drawing board. How can I make this simpler so that people understand? And also overall improved health. Peopleshealthtrust.org.uk has got this on their website. People with fewer social relationships die earlier, on average, than those with more social relationships. Improving the number of your social relationships reduces your risk of death as much as giving up smoking. Like, this is more than business tips here. This is wellness lifestyle tips. Help you lean on the open-ended question starters so that you can make more social interactions, build yourself up as the go-to expert, and stay healthy and well so that you can stay looking after animals for as long as you can. My action steps from this, my top tip was about the QR code. I've already given it to you. And your takeaway action steps is I'd love for you to write a couple of prompts for yourself. Those natural conversation starters, the ones that make it sound and feel like you. And also commit to which place you're going to go this week to have those interactions. Is it going to be the dog park? Is it going to be the local coffee shop? Is there a fete or an event happening that you can show up to where you can have your one line sniff and tail pitch rehearsed? And please let me know how you get on. As I've said, anyone that grabs a copy of the book, I'll also give you the digital conversation starter reference card. You can keep this on your phone until you build up that confidence to have those natural conversations yourself. I'm Elizabeth Hack. It's my pleasure to provide you these tools and equipment so that you can best look after the dogs in your care and stay in care and caring for them for as long as possible. Thank you for your service to dogs, and I can't wait to hear how you get on with these strategies. I'll see you next week.